Right, 29 November 2024. And today I've got a very interesting update on a Friday. And this is a very special day. This is Black Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of people are going to be shopping. That is the last Friday of November every year. So here in South Africa, there's going to be a lot of deals where you can get things at a discounted price. But I know that most people in Zimbabwe do not have money to buy anything. So it's going to be very difficult for Zimbabweans. However, we still have our Black Friday special. That is, if you're in the UK, you're getting this instead of this. So that is our Black Friday special. And that is, for those who know, they know what they can do. It's a very powerful app, which is used for you to get a lot of strength to become as strong as an ox and to turn a 1 liter engine into a 3 liter engine with one kickstart. So the number to contact for our sponsors is over there, 68526791. And if you're in South Africa, the Black Friday special ends today. So this is the last day, if you're in South Africa, when you can get this instead of this. So starting Monday, South Africa is only getting 100 grams. I've been running this special for a very long time now, I think over a month, and a lot of guys have benefited. So today is your last day where you can get a special if you're in South Africa. Now let's go into today's news. And I want to start with what is happening in South Africa. So South Africa has appointed their latest prime minister. And I think most of you didn't know this. South Africa has appointed this man. He's called Mnangagwa Ramashodi. He's the latest prime minister of South Africa, of the Bapedi nation. So he is very powerful and he represents the Amapedi under Her Majesty Mnangagwa. So that is the Her Majesty Mnangagwa. She is represented here by Mnangagwa Ramashodi. Mnangagwa Tulare, she is the current king or chief of this tribe called Amapedi. A big portion of South Africa are under her. And this is the latest prime minister of South Africa. There is also a prime minister of the Amazulu, Buthelezi. So you see that South Africa has got different nations and kingdoms. And this Amapedi kingdom is one of the biggest kingdoms in South Africa. So their new prime minister is over here, Mnangagwa Ramashodi, and he was the previous premier of Limpopo from the period of 1994 to 2004. And he is very well-known and prominent ANC member, but currently appointed as the prime minister of Amapedi. So if you don't know, now you know. South Africa is a new prime minister, one of the latest prime ministers here in South Africa. And these jobs come with a lot of power. They are not light jobs. Then let's go to another issue here that I wanted to look at before I go to my main story. General Chiwenga was in Victoria Falls yesterday, where he covered the regional construction summit. General Chiwenga is taking over more and more responsibilities as he slowly takes over from Mnangagwa. Most people don't know what I'm telling them here. So I want to spend a bit of time on what is happening. General Chiwenga has basically started the process of becoming the president of ZANU-PF and the president of Zimbabwe. So you're going to see General Chiwenga becoming more prominent and Mnangagwa becoming less prominent, especially as we go into 2025. There has been a massive change after the military stepped in a few weeks back, and they've backed General Chiwenga here. to be the new president of ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe. You're going to see these things that I'm telling you as they take place. Mnangagwa is going to step back more and more, and Chiwenga is going to step forward more and more. So you're going to see a lot more Chiwenga and a lot less Mnangagwa, because Mnangagwa's program has failed. So Mnangagwa's political program and economic program has failed, and you're going to see more and more of Chiwenga. Chiwenga now needs to do a lot of work. So if Chiwenga doesn't do work now, he's going to face a lot of problems, because remember, he has been given the stage. And what happens is most people are going to start being blamed on Chiwenga. They're going to see that happening. So Chiwenga needs to step up. I do not know how he's going to take himself from under Mnangagwa, because for Chiwenga to become president, he cannot come from being the vice president. And most of you are going to eventually understand what I'm saying here. It's not possible for a vice president to become a president. So let's digest what I just said, and you're going to see it playing out. Eventually, Chiwenga has to be out of that vice president position if he's going to become the president of Zimbabwe. However, the field has been opened up for him. The stage has been given to Chiwenga. But what he's doing now is administrative. So he's been given tasks to do by Mnangagwa. However, what Chiwenga needs to do now is to find a way of defining the agenda and the strategy. And that is building a team, creating an actual strategy and policies and programs, and implementing them. And you'll see that when I talk about Chiwenga, I've got no doubt, because the military guys also don't have a doubt. So if you go to the military guys now, the military hierarchy, and you ask them who is going to be the next president of Zimbabwe, even if they're asleep, they're going to tell you that Chiwenga is the man that they want to be president. So take it from me, we are into a transitional period, and the next 4 weeks are going to be very, very critical, because the Zimbabwe economy has collapsed, and the collapse is going to get worse because of what I'm just going about to tell you now, which is the takeover of electricity by the Chinese. So the Chinese have taken over all the electricity that is currently in Zimbabwe. This happened, and I've told you about this almost a year ago, that the Zimbabwe government is failing to pay a debt of $2 billion. So the total debt that Zimbabwe owes to China is $2 billion US, and it's increasing every month. So every month, the Zimbabwe government's debt to China is increasing, and that is with regards to Unit 7 and 8 at Hwange, which was built using a loan. So this is not a grant, it is a loan. And the loan was approximately 500 million for the Chinese to put electricity at Hwange. And of that electricity, which is all the electricity in Zimbabwe, is 850 megawatts. And the Chinese put in place 600 megawatts. Kariba has put in place 100 megawatts. And Unit 5 is putting in place 150 megawatts. So the total megawatts in Zimbabwe is 850, of which Kariba is the only one that is owned by Zimbabwe. Unit 5 is always down. I don't know what's happening to Unit 6. I think it's under construction. So if the Chinese was to take over the 600 megawatts, which is being produced at Hwange 6 and 7 and 8, it means that the Zimbabweans won't have any electricity at all. There will be absolutely no electricity. And the Chinese can redirect that electricity to Zambia, they can redirect that electricity to South Africa, or they can sell it themselves in Zimbabwe and collect the money. So this is what has happened. It is a massive problem in Zimbabwe right now, because all the electricity that is there now, the Chinese can simply just say, move out. And this is what has happened. Zimbabwe has missed the deadline by over a year. They were supposed to pay immediately 500 million, and they failed to do so. So what they're doing now is every week they're attempting to pay, I think it's 29 million from Hwange. So ZESA totally collapsed and unable to save their debt. Put this into perspective of what I said a few days ago, where Zimbabwe is owing the Chinese approximately between 30 billion and 60 billion, on top of the 21 billion that they owe the Western donors. In fact, not donors, but funders. That gives Zimbabwe a debt of between 60 and 100 billion that they're owing. And the Mnangagwa government is not able to function. If it was a person, they're bankrupt. Someone is going to come and take your house. Someone is going to come and take your car. Someone is going to come and take your wife. That is what's happening to Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa, it's sad, guys, what is happening in Zimbabwe. Now, I want to go to this lady. She's called Mthuli Ncube. Very corrupt person, Mthuli Ncube. She's the most corrupt person ever. And it's unbelievable what she does. She does all sorts of things. She's the Minister of Defense, but take, for example, what she done today. She has put out a congratulatory message for Mnangagwa. I've told you guys that from now onwards, I'm no longer dealing with Mnangagwa's family. After the release of Timba and the other guys who were arrested, I'm going to reduce the volume on these guys. I'm not concerned about Mnangagwa. She's no one now. But I'm concerned about the two people around Mnangagwa. You see the people in this picture. That is Wicknowledge at the back and Mthuli Ncube there on the left. These people are very corrupt and they're making our country mockery. I don't know how she became the Minister of Defense, Mthuli Ncube. Very corrupt person. And if you look at Wicknowledge, his brother is trending right now in South Africa because he was caught with gold here in South Africa. They're trying to sell gold on the street. How stupid is that? Imagine a person of his level trying to sell gold on the street worth 15 million. It means he doesn't know what he's doing. It's illegal to export gold from Zimbabwe. The only place where you can sell gold in Zimbabwe is at Fidelity. And you're going to see Mnangagwa quiet. Right now, if you look at all the newspapers in Zimbabwe, they don't have that story. That is because this gold belongs to Mnangagwa, and they were trying to sell it here in South Africa because they're blacklisted from selling anywhere else. So they're struggling to sell their gold. They're lying to say that they've got cars that they're giving away. Wicknowledge is basically broke. He's got no business that is running. And you can see Kuti, he only survives in Zimbabwe and not being arrested because of his relationships with people like Mnangagwa and Mthuli Ncube. The young brother of Wicknowledge has got no way that he can get 15 million worth of gold. The gold mafia now, it's now open what is happening with the gold in our country. It's being taken out through illegal methods. What they're trying to avoid is what is called the surrender requirement, whereby if you sell gold or minerals outside of Zimbabwe, you're supposed to pay a portion in the ZIG. No one cares about the ZIG. It's crazy. No one wants the ZIG. Even Wicknowledge knows that the ZIG is nothing. Wicknowledge, he knows. He's not dumb like you think. When he sits there in his house, he's like, oh my God, how did Mnangagwa become president? Wicknowledge is a smart guy. He knows a lot. He goes to different countries. Guys, if you step into a different country, which is not Zimbabwe, let's say you go into Zambia, or you go into South Africa, or you go into Botswana, you immediately understand what the normal countries. Wicknowledge has been to America. When you step into America, everything works. Like literally, everything works without the government. The government is not making things work. And I'm sure Wicknowledge knows whatever is happening in Zimbabwe is a joke. Mnangagwa's policies are poor, and he wonders, when is this going to end? That is Wicknowledge file over there. Crazy stuff. And then obviously, we have a great opposition leader, Venancio Mondlane. He's done very, very well. This man is strong. Like, he hosts a 9-hour live, and he talks for 9 hours. Sometimes I laugh when I watch Venancio Mondlane. I'm like, this man is here for real. And amazing stuff. Guys, in the evenings, just go on YouTube and go to Venancio Mondlane's channel. This man is amazing. He's very, very strong opposition leader. You see that Mozambique is going to be one of the strongest countries if he becomes president, like I anticipate. There's been a lot of clashes with the military yesterday in Mozambique. So let's see how it goes. The military started to clear out people yesterday in Mozambique, and I want to see how that is going to turn out. Then we've got an entertainment story, which is not very entertaining. So in Zimbabwe, this lady here has sold a baby for $20. 20 US dollars. That's how much she's sold the baby for. She is a midwife, and she's called Patricia Sena. She is a midwife at the Sally Mugabe Children's Hospital. So in February, she induced the baby, the birth of a baby at 28 weeks prematurely. And she then gave the baby to Dion Tore, who was supposed to take the baby at 29 weeks. So they discharged the child at 29 weeks. My understanding is that a normal baby is born at around 38 weeks. So they paid the mother, Evelyn Zisengwe, who was with the mother, Ayanda Zisengwe, and the two of them worked with Sena here to induce the baby and give the baby to Dion Tore, who was going to take the baby overseas as part of the baby trafficking scheme. And she was paid $20 for everything. This is very bad. It's a sign of poverty within the government of Zimbabwe. Employees are not being paid. And this is what they are resorting to. Crazy stuff that is taking place in Zimbabwe. $20 or 400 rands. That is what she was paid for all this. And she's currently in jail until the 3rd of December when she appears in court again. Very sad indeed. Patricia Sena, a midwife, an experienced midwife, who is struggling in Zimbabwe because of poverty and was forced into this situation. She was arrested by the Zimbabwe anti-terrorism unit. Can you believe it? So the Zimbabwe anti-terrorism unit is a unit of CIO that is responsible for the borders. So they were given a tip-off that babies are being trafficked, and that is how they ended up arresting her. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm obviously going to bring this to an end, but we're going to become more and more, go back to our longer sessions because my fiber has been connected now. I'm not using it now. I just had to ship all my equipment today. But by the end of the day, tomorrow my fiber should be connected and we'll be back to our lives. So you're going to see Jonasi here probably tonight, talking about the Namibia election. He went there to help the opposition. Guys, clap hands for Jonasi. He's doing very, very well. All this stuff that you're seeing here in Southern Africa. I don't know what Jonasi, I hate to say, but he's done it. He's going to Namibia, he's going to Botswana. He was unable to go to Mozambique to help. But Sekuru Vena has got it over there. But I know for a fact that Jonas went to Namibia to help the opposition there with the anti-rigging strategy. You saw what happened yesterday. The guys were caught. ZANU-PF was caught red-handed trying to rig. And that is part of some of the work that Jonas has been doing across the region, which is to go over there and talk to the opposition and reveal how ZANU-PF is rigging elections. Jonas apa. That is some of the questions that I ask myself. After all this, is ZANU-PF going to leave Jonasi to leave? So let's see if someone can help Jonasi to get out of this region, because what is happening here is terrible. But if you see what has happened in Botswana, he was there before the election, now he went to Namibia and he worked with the guys in the opposition to deal with what is called an anti-rigging strategy. So first you need an anti-rigging strategy, then you need what is called defending the vote. What is happening? Sekuru Vena is showing flames to Frelimo. Frelimo, the guys in Mozambique are suffering under the intense pressure from this man. And that is what called defending the vote. What is happening in Mozambique? Incessant, persistent, and non-stop pressure until they they realize that they cannot govern that country. It's ungovernable right now in Mozambique. They cannot govern it until they address what they've done in Mozambique. Let's see what is in my favorite newspaper, the H Metro newspaper, the TMZ of Zimbabwe. So they've got the same story of the sale of the baby over here that I just gave you. They are leading that story, but they are giving the amount as $180. So this money that they were paying here was very little. It was not more about the money. It was more about trying to get a life for the family, for the baby. So let me see what picture they've got here of Patricia Sena, what they call Patricia Sena, and I call it Patricia Sena. So they've got a picture. If you go to H Metro right now, you're going to see the picture that they've got. She's covered her body. I'm very sad about this situation. I know that she's not the kingpin. She was just given $20. She didn't even know what the $20 was for. It's like those guys in the Home Affairs of Zimbabwe. If you go to the Registrar General's office and you just walk in the corridors, there are people milling around, wanting you to pay $50 so that they can make you jump the queue and so forth. So it's crazy. Said people in government departments, you should not be going through this. The problem is Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has destroyed everything. So everyone in government, you must know, but you need a new government for everything to function. Mnangagwa is the one who is making you suffer. And Mnangagwa is laughing at you when you defend him. Sabotage, Mnangagwa is often and as soon as you get an opportunity, that man must go. The problem is Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa Arkurayavan, Benzara. Right, so I think we've covered everything. The Chinese are taking over electricity in Zimbabwe over the failure by the Zimbabwe government to pay a debt of $2 billion. That is the total amount owed by Mnangagwa's government for Unit 7 and 8 at Hwange, which generates 600 megawatts of electricity, when Zimbabwe totally generates 850 megawatts, with most of those megawatts coming from the Chinese Unit 7 and 8. So currently, Kariba, because of the drought, is only generating 100 megawatts. And then Unit 5, which generates 150 megawatts, is due for repairs. And nothing is going to work. We are going to get to a point where there is absolutely no electricity in the whole of Zimbabwe. And this is going to happen very, very soon. Right, let's look in the comments. Jonas Adam Boda Kushika Kopi. Jonas is amazing. I love it, Jonas, when he goes to these countries. Like, Jonas left his home. I think that pissed off Jonas so much. I don't know what they did to him. But the guys in Namibia and the guys in Botswana benefited from this unrigging strategy. Goma Moise says, is there any change pattern if we swap from Mnangagwa to Chiwenga? Yes, it's because of the military factor. The military love Chiwenga. Do not listen to everything else. The military guys want Chiwenga. They love Chiwenga. And they're going to make sure that Chiwenga gets into office. But remember what I said. Between now and 2035, which is about 10 years, they're not going to have a normal government. They're going to have a transitional government. And when you have a transitional government, you are going to be focused on delivery, fixing the systems, fixing the currency, and fixing the infrastructure. That is coming. We are not going to have a president now up to 2035. The next election we're going to have in Zimbabwe, a democratic election, is 2040. So think about that very carefully. Mnangagwa has tried to do something about that process, but it's failed. Mnangagwa is not going to manage to extend his rule. But before that happens, something big is going to happen. So between now and at least the end of December, I'm anticipating something very big to happen. So be very careful if you're in Zimbabwe. Any day, any moment, something is going to blow up and everything has collapsed. When I say something has collapsed, I mean literally you're going to wake up one day, there's no power, you don't get paid, and nothing's working. So eventually, the army guys will have to take over. So I do not know what is going to happen, but something's going to happen in the next 3 weeks. So on ZESA issues, who's selling the country? The Chinese are ruthless, guys. They will take over your power. They don't play with you. Right now, these guys at ZESA do not have the password for power. The Chinese can right now log in and redirect your electricity and turn you off if they want. That's how the Chinese work. You saw what happened in Parliament yesterday. It was an example. The Chinese guys, they do everything. And they always put a camera in everything. So if you get something from the Chinese guys, they're going to put a camera in there. They're going to back it. They're going to hear what you're going to say. If Mnangagwa even says something about the Chinese, they're going to hear about it. They don't play with him. Those guys, they are crazy. To get his run like a sponsor scheme. Okay, I don't understand, Gilda. Please retype that again. So let's go into H Metro. What did I say about H Metro newspaper? H Metro, I wanted to see what happened with the story of Brian and Bright. Mkoma, Bright, Bakabata Mskana, and they're 36 years old. And then I made the mistake and said Brian, and Brian's wife was very mad at me. And she sent lawyers after me. I only saw the letter yesterday. Crazy enough. I was looking at my WhatsApp because I got hundreds of WhatsApps. And then I saw lawyer Zimbabwe withdraw the statement to say that Brian was involved in this. You must say Bright. And the lawyer was actually threatening to sue me within 4 days. So that is Bright Nyanete. I withdraw, Madam Brian, I withdraw Bright Nyanete. I don't want to be sued by anyone. All right, guys, so let's conclude. And today I'm going to take you through a few more things during the day. So this is 100 grams. That is the normal, what you get. Black Friday, this is what you get. If you're in South Africa, today is your last day. If you don't make your order, you are not going to get the big stuff. And unotongwa nema salad. Most guys are asking me, how does Move work? So let's go into how Move works. So most guys, their muscles don't grow. They've got high blood pressure. They've got diabetes. They've got inflammation. So what Move does, it goes into your body and it treats all those things that I've just said. And it also gives you strength. Can I put 1 liter engine into a 3 liter engine? And one kickstart. One kickstart means good. Unonamdara and 70 years, I never can say 3. You will in 30 years, which Tadam can 1. That is one kickstart. So that is the stuff. Make your order. And the dosage is every morning, 1 tablespoon in boiling water for 30 days. Then you call me after 30 days and we have a chat. I'm actually talking to guys right now. If you see yourself after 30 days, what's no improvement? Call me and then I'll refer you to someone in Zimbabwe, especially, who's going to help you to deal with the issues. Or who are not as strong as an ox. So I expect everyone to be as strong as an ox. That's the number. They WhatsApp me. Today, I think we've got 500 packages to go out. Right, I think I've covered everything. What else have I left here? I don't think I've left everything. I normally want to look at the Chronicle newspaper because this is important. Right, I want to look at, guys, this is crazy. Right, I also left this story. Let me go into the Chronicle and show you what happened. So these guys called me, the family Mdarawu. They called me and they threatened to sue me. Everyone wants to sue me from United States. So they called me and they said that I'm such a liar. And this is the Chronicle newspaper. A prominent Blawayo businesswoman, Pamela Mapaura, has taken legal action against her husband, Kwame Umemba, seeking a protection and eviction order. This comes after Mapaura, who was previously accused of assault and property damage, managed to have the charges dropped when her husband withdrew his complaint. Mr. Umemba stated in affidavit that. So go and look at this story. in the Chronicle newspaper of Bulawayo. So let me tell you what happened. The two sisters of Mnangagwa called me 2 days ago. And they said that this lady who owns what is called Pamela Creations was known. She owned nothing until she met Mwemba here. And I hope that I'm not messing up his name. She owned nothing. He trained her. He bought the machines. And now she's stopping him from working. He's 59 years old and she's 39 years old. And she has stopped him from working. That is why he had to ask her for money. He's a business person. And it's not true that she can beat him up because he's huge and he's small. So they were in court on Thursday. And I asked the sisters that they must send me the number of Pamela so that I can call her. Because they said, Guti, there is more. She's taking advantage of the fact that the man's mother has died. And she is the one who is the problem. So you can see that the story has changed. And she is apparently now seeking an eviction order against a Kwame member who is originally from Zambia. And they are saying the reason why Kwame dropped the charges was because he's obviously in Zimbabwe and he doesn't want to be arrested in Zimbabwe based on the fact that he's a foreigner. However, as you can see that she is seeking an eviction order here, it means there's more behind the scenes. And I wish that Pamela would give me a call and would clarify here. But since this is in court, I don't know if she's going to do it. But I am saying to you here, the sisters of Mwemba called me furious that I said she was beating him up and that he fainted after getting a thorough beating. This is crazy, guys. And I wish that this can be resolved. The couple has got 3 children together. And as I said, she is stopping him from working. That is what the sister said. And they called me here in a group call. They also have a family group where all this is being discussed. Okay, Gwen is saying, but you need to apologize for the mistake you made. What mistake? The fact that I said Kwame, or the fact that I talked about being beaten. No, guys, I'm just talking what happened here. Right, I think I've covered enough, and I'm enjoying myself too much here today. I'm going to come back later during the day so that we can look at what is happening with Black Friday. And as I said, do not miss out on the last day, if you're South Africa, of Mve, 200 grams instead of 100 grams. What is the last comment? Right, let's see. So the comment here is, does the parliament belong to the government of the Chinese? The building always belongs to the Zimbabweans, was donated, but they've got so many bugs in there. Like the Chinese, they will bug you. Like if you even go to the bathroom in parliament, they put a picture of it. If you walk in the corridor, they put a picture of it. If you talk, if you make a phone call to parliament, they've got a picture of it. The Chinese, I will never use anything Chinese. Let me tell you a secret about the computer. I use a computer from China, right? Huawei. Yeah, I'm going to throw away this thing. So my camera, they've removed the camera from the front. You know why? Because no one in America would buy a Huawei computer. Because everyone knows exactly what I'm saying here. That every single Chinese device has a camera in it. Like if you got a cup from China, it has a camera in it. And that camera is recording everything. They can turn it on and off when they like. This is not a joke, what I'm telling you. Be serious about your own security. And in South Africa here, you see all these big networks. Vodacom, MTN, what? They don't own the networks. So Hwange and ZTE, they literally own the network. If South Africa was to go to war with China, China would just go and say, off, and there'll be no cell phone, there'll be no data in South Africa. That is because all the servers are sitting behind Chinese infrastructure. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Okay, maybe I don't even know if this is the secret. They do have servers in South Africa. So that if, let's say, the cable breaks between South Africa and Europe, you're still able to browse in Facebook. So you're actually browsing inside the network of the network. So if you're in MTN, you're browsing MTN. If you're in Vodacom, you're browsing Vodacom. So if the Chinese want, they can just block Facebook, YouTube, Twitter for you if you're in South Africa, because they're sitting behind the network here, Hwange. These guys, they own everything here in South Africa. And I believe that that is also the case in Zimbabwe. So the networks actually get paid, or they get told how much money they made by these Chinese companies, which is crazy. China owns Africa, basically, from a technology perspective and also from an infrastructure perspective. Sakapaka guys. If you know, you know. Right, what is Mdara appointed for? Mdara Dube. I think I know Manikai Wacha and Dube Manikai and Wacha, something like that. He has been appointed as a chairperson of something big. I don't know what it is. Let's see what this is. What this thing is. DPC, Deposit Protection Corporation. He's been appointed to lead it. Dube Manikai and Wacha and Museum Darawi. But what I know is that everyone from the Dube family is doing very well in Zimbabwe. There are some of the top people over there. And I don't know if he's a lawyer. Yeah, lawyer Chiwenga. Because my lawyer at the top of Zimbabwe, they're also grouped. But my lawyer Chiwenga. So I don't know what decides the repay. But Deposit Protection Corporation. And you saw that I didn't even talk about the ZESA and the budget. Mthuli, it's already irrelevant after one night. Right, guys, I would like to thank all of you for watching, and I really enjoyed this. I'll be back with my full long programs now and interviews, because our fiber is back, and I apologize for taking a break from interviews. We also want to talk about the Victoria Falls project, and this is the house that we want everyone in the diaspora to have. So if you are in the diaspora of Zimbabwe, you are going to have that house. That is duplex, double story, and 2 or 3 garages. You are going to own this on free land, and our project is on course. Victoria Falls is going to totally change. The space between Victoria Falls and Hwange is going to be one of the most developed areas. And I'm going to make sure that guys who are in the diaspora get a house here without paying for land. Guys who are in journalism and socialites are going to get land here, and soldiers, 2 houses for each soldier. We're going to find you a space somewhere in this big project that we're working on. And the guys in Zimbabwe, it's not what high-speed rail is coming, and we're going to have a plan for you, but not this side. This is not the project for people, for ordinary people. The project for ordinary people will be in Harare, but this is going to be the biggest and best address in Zimbabwe. Victoria Falls is going to change forever, and this is going to happen very, very soon. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you again tonight. A good day to you all.